Hello, welcome to RadaTalk number 2, AMA with Pegaxy. This is a live stream on RADA TV, the official YouTube channel of RADA, the DAO-based AngelList for blockchain. With RADA, you can invest in projects in the early stage with only $100 USDT. Note, this is not financial advice and we are not responsible for any cryptocurrency losses. RADA TV will continuously produce videos about blockchain and cryptocurrency. Want to receive our video updates? Please click on subscribe and then click on the Tessa, your host of today's live stream. Today, we'll meet a special guest from an NFT project with a lot of potential. I would like to introduce you to Mr. Correy Willton, co-founder and CMO of Pegaxy. Go ahead and
How's it
give
going?
a brief introduction. Hello.
Hey. Yes. So, do you want me just to jump straight into it?
Just a short introduction. Who are you?
Yeah, of course. My name, of course, is Corey. I am the CMO and co-founder over here at Pegaxy. And yes, we've been building the project for the last 6 months, and we're bringing it to the light now. So, thanks so much for joining.
Thank you. So, what is Pegaxy? Tell me more about this project.
In short, I'll make it as short as possible because I could go on forever, I guess. But in short, it is a horse racing game at its backbone that really focuses on player skill and being a borderless, I guess, exponential growth type platform, which provides opportunity for a lot of people. So yeah, at its core, it is a horse racing game. Initially, it is a random number generated results game. However, within the first few months, it will turn into a full player skill based control game.
Very nice. What makes Pegaxy different from the other NFT games that are related to racing? Like, what is the USP? What makes it very unique?
I guess it's more so that we have a game. Uh, there's a lot of potential games coming out, and I mean having a game shouldn't be a selling point, but at this point, it is. So I guess at some degree, that is definitely one of the USPs. But in itself, if everyone did have a game, I guess it's really our ecosystem and our community as well. And I guess the roadmap, the direction that we believe that it will be going. I won't touch on it too much because I'm sure I will mention it later. But yeah, I think we do have a very powerful community, very committed people, and the direction and how in depth we've really thought about it. I think is one of the unique selling points on top of the game itself. The game should be a given. It should be a fun game, but I think everything revolving the game is one of the selling points here.
That's amazing. I did take a look at the roadmap and it is just spectacular. And I think I need to get myself some Pegaxys pretty soon.
Go ahead.
So, blockchain gaming has a large market cap of $17 billion USD, and playing NFT games is now a very popular trend. And myself as a gamer, I'm trying to get more into it as well. What does the current blockchain gaming market look like right now?
For sure, we're early. I mean, when we talk in billions, it sounds like a lot, but really, it's not that much. So yeah, I guess when you look at it like that, how many billion was that?
17 billion market cap.
7 0.
17, 1 7.
Oh, okay,
It'll get to
yes. I mean,
70
that's pretty.
soon.
I'm pretty sure
It's
Axie is
getting
like
there.
six of that or eight of that alone. So like Axie in itself takes a large majority of that. So it just shows that we're stupidly early. And I guess that's really summarizes it. There's a lot of opportunity in the space at the moment. And I think the ones who focus on community are going to be the long-term winners. It's definitely also with opportunity comes a lot of risk and a lot of scams. So to those new to the space, obviously, just be careful.
Definitely. And I agree, it's really about the community. What are the biggest challenges and or opportunities for NFT game projects?
Yeah, well,
Or you can focus on just the challenges itself.
the challenges I would say is more so being able to like hide blockchain in a game. I think not many have done it right at the moment. Unfortunately, there's a lot of conflict, and I'm not sure if it's just because there's not enough bridges or something like that, but it's quite difficult to hide blockchain within a game. So players who are from the native space, or the native traditional gaming space, I should say, who have never interacted with blockchain, should be able to play these games without realizing that they're interacting with blockchain. But unfortunately, that's not the situation. So we're not ready for mass adoption yet, I would say. I think the incentive of earning money while playing the game is definitely going to push that. But once someone does break that barrier between uh, interacting with blockchain and not interacting with blockchain, or not realizing you're interacting with blockchain while playing a game where you earn real currency, uh, that's when we will see some serious scale. I think that's the main problem at the moment, and more so on the opportunity side. I would say that is also the opportunity. uh, when there's a lot of bottlenecks, when there's a lot of issues that need to be solved, that's where the opportunity lays, and whoever solves that, winner takes all generally.
Oh, for sure. So we've learned about the project and listened to the guest's opinion about the blockchain gaming market. To make the atmosphere more pleasant, let's invite Correy to join a little what if situation. Uh,
Okay.
for example, the audience is wondering, like, how do I get a Pegaxy? How do I get started? Like, how do I play the game? Like, how does this work? So the questions would start out like, how do you purchase a Pega? Where is the marketplace? Like, can you walk us through the very like first steps you'd have to take to get
Sure,
started?
sure. So, just recently we did have our NFT sale. So, Pega are out there at the moment, and they look like that you can probably see on the screen. So, yeah, there are Pega out there at the moment. Secondary marketplace is due to launch. It could be within a week or two. I would give it 2 weeks. However, that's really. Oh, I think I'm back. Sorry, I disconnected for a second. That's my bad. But yes,
Everything's
sales will
good
take
now.
place on the secondary market, on our native secondary market. But right now, players can actually purchase some on OpenSea. I would just recommend going to our Discord or our live chat or something like that, just asking someone for the genuine OpenSea link. We don't directly support it. However, it is available, of course, because it is an NFT. So if you wanted one, you can purchase the claiming cards there. However, once launched, the players will simply just come to our website, purchase an NFT, a Pega, straight from the marketplace, and once you have one Pega, sorry, you are good to play, and that's it. So what you see on the screen there is one of the claiming cards. That's what everybody has at the moment, and we'll open claiming this weekend. So people will essentially be able to just go to the website, and click claim, and then they'll get their Pega. And then once the game does launch, they'll be good to go. They'll be good to play. So as I mentioned, you only need one Pega to play, and that's if you want to be an owner. However, if you don't have the funds, you can rent. I'm sure we'll probably mention that a little bit later, so I won't dive too far into it.
So we have a screen share showing the Pegaxy website, and I noticed that there are 4 different types of bloodlines. How do you
Yes.
know what bloodline to choose? What is your favorite bloodline? Like, how does the player select one?
It's a hard one. It's definitely personal preference a lot of the time, with the looks, but at the end of the day, there is also rarity, and I know a lot of the people who are already in the community will understand that for sure. So there's Hoz, who is the most rare of all of them, and that's the floor price for that one is obviously higher than all of the others. So yeah, it kind of depends on the rarity, and the rarity doesn't affect its in-game racing ability. It more so affects other things externally to the racing. The racing again is going to depend on the player's skill. However, you've got different cooldowns, different breeding cooldowns, all that type of stuff. So for someone to really pick the one that they like, if they don't care about rarity or stats, go with the one that looks cool. And if you do care about that stuff, I would just jump into the white paper. It's super detailed, so just need to consider the direction that you're taking, whether you're doing, you're buying the Pega to make more money off of it later, whether you're doing it to breed, just consider your certain situation and then purchase like that.
So after they make that purchase and they have this Pega, how do they begin a race? Is there a button or a page that they go
So
to?
that's
And
pretty
you
easy.
said it'll be available in the next week, right?
Yeah, we've tried to make it as simple as possible. Again, this is coming back to that, seamless type model, or I guess least resistance. So once you have a Pega in your account, whether that was ownership or renting, essentially you just click race. And then what will happen, and it's similar to Call of Duty, a lot of people will be familiar with it. It's instant matchmaking. So you get put into the next available lobby. So you click race, it enters you into the lobby, and the lobby fills, and then it goes into the, like, if you could imagine the back end, it fills them instantly. So then you're never waiting for a race. As soon as you push race, if there's 12 other people that push it at the same time, you enter the lobby with them, and then that lobby is closed, and the next lobby comes. But once you enter that lobby, essentially what will happen is that you'll have a 2-minute countdown. We have a thing called gear and food. That'll be introduced later into the game, but essentially you kind of set up your horse to the variables of the track. Again, I won't go into that too much because it's I guess a little bit complex, too complex to talk about on here, but yeah, it's all in the white paper. But essentially, just try to match up your Pega's stats to what the track shows. You got 2 minutes to do it, and then essentially, once the 2-minute countdown is done, you're racing. So, as I said at the start, you will have just random number generated results. So, really, anyone has the chance to win. However, in I'd say the next 2 to 3 months, it will be player controlled. So, it will come down to skill, and you guys will have to know how to play the game. And then, yeah, there'll just be a 3, 2, 1 race, and then top three earn a prize in the native utility token, which is VIS, similar to SLP.
That sounds a lot of fun. Do you have a favorite feature of the game? And it might be something that you haven't
Yeah.
mentioned yet.
I think the one that does excite me the most is more so what renting enables. Not so much the renting itself. We did solve a lot of trust issues within the renting ecosystem. However, it's more so uh, having that there's a trustless renting system, easier payouts that lets the guilds focus on growth, and with that growth, there's a lot more things that guilds can do. Guild competitions, or who could be the biggest guild. Doing things with guilds, I think, is going to be an amazing thing, and there's going to be so many guilds sprout from this. And the simple fact is, you only need one Pega to play. So on the platform, there's going to be so many more players. Like, as you could imagine, with Axie to play, you need three. With us, you need one. There's going to be 3 times the players. If you can imagine what I'm saying, like, instead of 3 Axies, you only need one. So yeah, I guess that's what does excite me, is that the growth side of things and the guilds. So many things can be built from that. Competitions, who's the biggest guild, guild versus guild, that type of situation, and then moving into something like esport as well.
And when you say guilds, you mean like mini communities, like groups of people that work together, play together, and then compete like
Yeah,
as teams, right?
yeah, that's right. So
For
I
the
mean,
audience.
standout ones are like RDG, Real Deal Guild, RSS, Triple G. There's a bunch of them that did jump into our. We had a bit of a guild sale as well. A bunch of them did jump in and recognized it from all over the world. I think we've got guilds from Vietnam, Thailand, Brazil, Indonesia, Philippines, of course. Oh, I'm back. My bad. As I was saying, Brazil, Thailand, Indonesia. Oh, I don't.
It's a
That's
little
my bad.
choppy.
Sorry, I'm breaking up. Sorry, I'm breaking up. I don't know what the go is. My internet is fine. I'm sorry, everyone. But yes, yeah, it's Philippines and Vietnam were the last two. So yeah, we've got guilds all around the world, and we're really just trying to focus on enabling guilds because they are the backbone of the game at the end of the day.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, these tips will definitely help out the audience, especially when they are going to, for some of them to join Pegaxy and join the community. Another
Mm,
thing is everyone is also looking forward to hearing the founding team share the project development process. Tell
mm.
me about your team's journey on accessing funds from reputable companies in the blockchain, such as Crypto.com, Kyber Network, and Kairos Ventures, and several other companies.
Yeah, so it was an interesting one, I must admit, and it was quite intense actually. I think the difference was with our round is that we actually had a product. We weren't building off an idea or raising off an idea. We had been building since I believe off the top of my head. The idea was theorized in February, March, and then the build started in April. And then from there, we built all the way up until our raise, which was, it ended, I think, near a month ago, around there. So, yeah, when we did go to do the raise, it wasn't like, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. It was more like, we've got this, and our timeline looks like this is our roadmap. And then they realized that within 2 months, we're launching the game. So, yeah, it was an interesting one. It didn't take all that much convincing, if I'm honest with you. There is a lot of money going around as well at the moment, because the market is definitely hot. But it was just trying to pick the right ones. Even Crypto.com had invested in ones like D-Race as well, and they really just wanted to, try to recognize what was the difference in these horse racing games. I'm sure we'll get that question later as well. But yeah, to be honest with you, I was expecting it to be a lot harder, but I'm thankful for the ones that we do have because they provide a lot of value to us.
So there is a question that was asked in the chat that aligns with what you just mentioned. How
Sure.
does the blockchain-based virtual horse racing differ from traditional horse betting or horse racing?
Yeah. So that's a good one. I think it should be noted that we are a little bit different from like your Z Run and your D Race. Uh, so that they are really betting platforms in general. I'm not sure on D-Race. I don't really actually know what their game is yet, but Zrun for sure would be considered a betting platform. And again, as I said, the ethos of this game was to be borderless, and you can't have betting and borderless. It doesn't really work well together, because if it gets banned in a country, then all of that time and effort that people have put into gets, I guess, thrown away basically. So we can't have betting on the platform. Essentially, we want to take a step back and provide opportunity first, and not so much a betting platform. So we had to build a game, and that's what was required. Simple as that. So I guess when you're looking at the betting side and the horse racing side in the real world and comparing it to blockchain games, yeah, you definitely have two options. I think there'll be a lot more options on this side, like Zrun and D-Race, but I'm not too sure if they're going to come over to our side, because they already dominate this side. So they've got no real incentive to change and or reason to change because they're doing well anyway. So right now we are the only one that sit on the so much of a game side or completely player controlled eventually. So yeah, I guess that's the main difference is that we definitely have horses, but that's about it. It's more so a racing game than betting or something like that.
Yeah, that basically answers my next question. I was going to see if there was any concern on competitors in the market, such as D-Race and Zrun, but looks
Yeah.
like it's different. It's completely different than betting, and it gives everyone an opportunity to be able to race, especially for cheaper costs, because you don't even have to purchase a Pegaxy. You can rent one. So.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Um,
So it's just, zero cost entry, borderless is the idea. Mass adoption.
So going back to the gameplay, there's interesting features of the game, such as renting and breeding, and current
Mhm.
games on the market do not have or do not focus on these features. Being able to understand renting or breeding sounds like it requires experience. How hard is it to learn this process and to be able to start making profit with renting out your Pegaxes and breeding and selling them?
Yeah, that's a good question. We tried to, again, as I mentioned, simplify it as much as possible. So we provided three like three variants of renting. One is a traditional renting where like it's as if you rent a car. If you come onto the platform and you want to rent a Pega, you can pay a fixed fee of whatever the owner lists it for. And then after that, you get it for X amount of time. So you pay 300 USD, for example, you'll get it for a month. And then you keep all of the earnings that that Pega makes from you racing it. But we do have two other options, which are essentially the same. I won't dive into it too much, but it's more so what we call profit share direct rental. So what you'll do is essentially list it on a open marketplace or send it directly to someone with a profit split, which would be, say, a 70-30 split, where if I'm the owner, I get 30% and the person racing it and doing all the work gets 70%. So essentially, it's just me renting out my Pega on the platform. All you need to do is click rent on the Pega itself, set the agreement terms, which is 70-30, click rent or accept. It'll go up onto the marketplace or generate a link where you can send to someone who then accepts it and rents it. That's it. All the payouts are automated. The payouts go up into an escrow wallet, so no one controls them. They're distributed according to this 70-30 split as well, automatically, so no one controls the payments, which is trustless. And then finally, the asset itself, the Pega, only goes up into an escrow wallet and then displays in the wallet of the what we would call a scholar or a renter, but they don't actually possess the Pega, so it keeps the owner's assets safe as well. And that's it. It's the back end side, I guess, is a little bit complex, but the front end is very simple.
I did read that there are three different ways of renting. Are all those features like a current feature of renting? And was that just like a description of one way to rent out Pegaxys?
So that was I kind of combined the second two. So the first one is the traditional method, the second one is
Okay.
the profit share. So with the other two, the one is on the open market where it's like selling something. You just list it on the marketplace and then anyone can come along and rent it with the terms that you put up there. So if they want to rent it, you don't need to communicate. They just click rent and play with it. You can take it back whenever you like because it's simply a profit share. The second method is focused on guilds. So with Axie, there is a lot of friction and onboarding takes a lot. You got to make new accounts, you got to make new wallets, you got to do transfers. The payouts are manual as well. So it's a big headache. We just wanted to simplify it. Again, all you do is just click rent, set the terms, it'll generate a link. You send it to that person, whoever your scholar is, they'll accept it. Once they accept it, that's done. They're onboarded. The payouts will be automated, and then, of course, the Pega showing in their account is completely automated. You need to do nothing. You can run an entire guild of 1,000 scholars from a single Pegaxy account.
Very nice. The audience is saying, I can't wait for this game. So there's a lot of gamers in the audience, as well as myself. I've been gaming since the 90s. I'd we'd not I, but we'd love to hear about your journey to the gaming industry.
Of course. So I would say like mine's not that exciting, to be honest with you. It was just through mutual friendship. So uh, I dove into the NFTs early this year through interest of Formula One, and then there was a game called F1 Delta Time that I discovered through Animoca. They were the guys that did produce that game, and then through that, I just met someone in Discord, which happened to be Ken. And Ken was doing a lot of market research on it. And then Ken, who is friends with Steve, who is our CTO, is actually CTO of a Potter as well, which is one of the biggest game publishers in Vietnam. So one thing led to another, just through friendship. They had kind of theorized the idea. So I definitely can't take any credit for that. But we kind of, I guess, completed the puzzle once we all met each other. And that's when action really did start to take place. So yeah, that was more so my introduction. I guess personally on the back end, I'm just your stereotypical gamer. I just liked COD when I was younger, but unfortunately life gets in the way, and then I can't spend as much time on it, so I suck. So then I don't play. So yeah, it was a bit of a spiral, but we ended back in a full circle, and here we are.
I can relate to that. I love playing games, but I suck at all of them. I don't have the time to put into getting great at it.
Join the club.
So so we'd love some tips from the founding team on specifically on factors of what areas should these gamers focus on to make profit from the game. And you've already mentioned the whole renting system. What other
Yeah,
ways can they focus to profit? Because I think
interesting one.
a lot will be playing the game specifically to be making some income or side income.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's so many layers to it. So you guys, you've got, if you want to play the game as a scholar, like, of course, you're going to be able to earn VAS tokens. That's a given. So there's a lot of ways, the speculative market, the secondary market, holding some of your assets like your NFTs, of course, flipping them if you like, breeding, of course, is a massive one, building guilds as well, PGX token, VIS token. Like there is so many ways, and I want you guys to also think of this. I compare to it a lot, but it's just simply the game that dominates the market, and we have so much respect for them because of what they created, Axie Infinity. Try to do a lot of, I guess, links to ours and theirs, and kind of see where the trend's going to be, and see where the market is going to go. So that's really what I would say if you wanna set yourself a plan. We don't replicate what they have exactly. A lot of things do change. We do have the core basis of the dual token economy, and we did take a few things that we felt were necessary to help Axie natives on board onto here, because so that it felt familiar. But there's a lot of changes as well. So just make sure that you do read the white paper, just to make sure that the direction that you want it to take does make sense. And then, yeah, I would say personally, just go with the direction that you feel, most excited about. If you want to build a guild, happy days, go and build a guild. If you just want to own 100 Pega and rent them out and not speak to any of the people who rent them because you put it on the open marketplace, sweet, that's passive income for you. If you just want to hold the PGX token because you think that's what's going to happen in the future, it's going to go up, happy days. There's so many options. You probably can't do them all, but if you can, congrats to you. But just pick your one, and then ride with it and make the most of it.
I definitely agree. So I heard you're going to IDO soon.
Mm.
To prepare for the IDO of a project, in addition to focusing on product development, it is essential to spend time observing the market to choose the right launch time. And observing the market also helps the project set reasonable expectations. As for Pegaxy, what is the expected price of the token when IDO?
So at launch, it is 2 cents. So after that, of course, we won't know the price. But yes, during IDO, which is live at the moment, not the sale itself, but like whitelisting or registering, is live at the moment, and that's going to be at 2 cents. It's I won't go over it all that much, but the first there's tiers to it. There's 4 tiers. The first 2 tiers are kind of like lottery allocation. So if you get chosen, happy days, you get guaranteed allocation. The other two, you do have to stake and do some trading, and then you will be able to get guaranteed allocation as well. So it's up to you really. If you have the money to go up to the top, that's really what it's designed for. But we do have tiers for those who just simply want to pass KYC and run the opportunity of getting allocation.
Most of the players in the market are experienced crypto investors. They do not want to invest in a short term project, they want to
Mhm.
join a sustainable growth project. And I want to ask some difficult questions. What
Sure. Go ahead.
mechanism does Pegaxy have that give players a long-term and sustainable income? Like just like the whole long-term vision.
Yeah, I mean, this is I guess the vision for anyone who has a serious vision. Um, you need to build something solid, and I think it's important for players who are new to the industry, but even if they're experienced, to recognize that if you didn't go through the ICO days, it's a lot harder to recognize. a real company from a not so real one. However, generally, it will come down to an active, committed community, to be honest with you. And then also the game itself, or in this case, I'll talk about games. The game itself really has to make sense. The numbers need to make sense. The founding team or the employees need to be able to answer the hard questions and I guess make sense of any questions that people have, like any situations. They need to have pre-thought of them. These are the things that can be red flags if they don't have a plan for the next 6 months, or their roadmap ends in 1 year. It's a little bit scary in a lot of situations. So I would say just, yeah, in our sense, of course, I feel like our community speaks for itself. Our community is knowledgeable on our roadmap and how, I guess, complex our game actually is to build, that we wouldn't be crazy enough to commit to something like this for the short term, if you know what I mean. Like, we don't see reward in the short term unless it blows. But and it definitely has the formula to blow up, but uh personally, I don't think that's going to be the wisest decision in the short term, because we could be I guess a failure from our own success if we go too quickly. I think Axie experienced a little bit of that when their servers couldn't handle all of the players. So we're just trying to learn from Axie not to blow up too quickly. But yeah, I think the community generally will speak for itself.
I definitely agree, and many people believe that this will be, well, Pegaxy will be the next hidden gem of the blockchain gaming industry. What are your feelings on the statement?
Um, I
And
mean,
it's part of your last comment on the community speaks for itself and
cool, cool.
everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, being a hidden gem, like, I, I'm probably biased, but I think obviously there's, with our vision and how we've executed, I think there's obviously a lot of opportunity there. Now, I'm not going to make any recommendations or anything like that. However, I mean, I would just advise everyone not to have a close mind when looking at our project and committing to it 110%. I would prefer you to go and experience 100 games, because then you're going to be able to recognize a true hidden gem. I would prefer you go out there and read 50 white papers. You're going to be able to distinguish between good and trash, I guess, genuine and someone who has a short-term vision. So yeah, I mean, again, this is where you're better off asking the community, um, for sure. However, in my personal opinion and biased opinion, I think we have some sort of a formula that will work. But again, time reveals all.
Exactly. I'm going to give a chance for the audience to ask some questions. I think I have a couple of them ready to go from
Yep.
the YouTube live chat. If I stake 4,000 KNC and trade 65,000 on Crystal, am I rating Emerald, and how much PGX can I buy and how soon can I sell it?
Yeah. Good question. I mean, if you haven't checked it out too much, it might not make sense to a lot of people, but that's fine. So you'd be the tier 4 essentially. How much PGX you can buy is dependent on how many people do make it into tier 4. That'll be announced to actually no, it's on Thursday. It just crossed midnight my time, so it'll be, I don't know where you are, but it's on November 4th. I should probably say that. So November 4th, you'll be able to know your exact allocation. Now, as I mentioned, it does depend on how many people get into that tier. I would say tier 4 is obviously going to have the most allocation. And I would recommend you looking at the rounds. You've got like round 1, round 2, and round 3. If in round 1 not everyone takes that full allocation, then you've got a round 2 for your tier, which becomes like a first come first serve. So you will have access to more allocation even if you took your entire allocation in the first round. So don't stress too much. It is extremely variable. However, yes, the higher the tier, generally, of course, the higher the allocation. And then how soon can you sell it? It will be 50% at TGE, so it's likely within 24 hours of the event. I don't know the exact time. I can get that to you after. However, yes, within 24 hours, there will be a 50% release, and then you're locked for, well, vesting over 5 months, which turns out to be about 10% every month.
Very nice. We have, oh, there's a lot of questions coming in.
Yeah, I see that.
How to combine the traditional game dev team with the blockchain dev team to help a game grow sustainably in the metaverse space, not a short-term trend and then die. But I think we have already covered that question. And another
Yeah,
question is, how can
yeah,
we earn VIS? So you can answer either one or the other.
yeah. No worries. I'll touch on the first one, I guess. You just gotta, I guess, have a big team. With the first one, you just gotta have talent. That's really it. You just gotta invest money in your team. You don't raise money just to hold it, if you know what I mean. So you raise money, you put money into the team, and you get talent, and just go out and find more talent. And obviously, you can breed talent within the company as well. But essentially, you just need to find the right people to get onto your team, and that's how you build. And then how do you earn VIS? The primary way of earning VIS and the actual only way of creating VIS is by racing in the game. And that's the situation it is at the moment. So yeah, I don't know of any plans in the future to be able to earn VIS in other ways. PGX is the main token, but that doesn't have many earning avenues at all. VIS is similar to SLP, as I mentioned earlier, if you're new here. So VIS will be top 3 placement, and then you have classes. The higher the class, the more you earn per top 3 placement. But yeah, that's the way.
And it looks like there's a few other questions that we've already answered, so I'm going to go through the unanswered ones. Do players
Okay,
need
sure.
to pass KYC to play Pegaxy? Is there an age requirement to join the game?
KYC, no, not on our platform. You will need it on like the Crystal Go platform to I guess participate in the IDO, but that's more regulatory issues. For our platform, no, it's just a game. So yeah, and you own the NFTs. So we're just providing a platform for you to use your NFTs, and then an age requirement. Again, we would recommend over 18. It's We don't do KYC, so there's not much we can do to prevent that. I don't know your age. We're not going to ask for your age. However, yes, if you're earning same as Axie Infinity, we recommend over 18.
And what are the plans of helping keeping assets safe? Does Pegacy have a security system that is safe for the players?
Yeah, well, assets are owned by you and held by you. So I think that should be noted. Um, Secondly, we will
That question may
introduce
have
the
been from someone that's new to the
yeah, yeah,
crypto
yeah.
world.
I, I guess I'll break it down like when the assets are held, it's not like a traditional game where it's all in the game and your account can get hacked. If you lose your assets, generally it's because something happened on your side, because your wallet is connected to you. So we have been audited, the entire website audited, the contracts audited by the same team who did Axes. However, yes, most of the time if someone's going to lose assets, lose money, it's generally going to be you've clicked on a link or somehow someone's gained access to your computer. So I would say just be extremely vigilant. Even you saw today that Axie's official Discord did get hacked. So you just need to be careful of what you click on. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And just look at links properly. That's all I can say.
Yes, definitely. Does Pegaxy have any um, preferences towards loyal players, the ones that are always around, that are playing every day? Do they get any kind of like special things?
Benefits, I mean, it's a tough one. Like if if we create a good game, players are going to stay around anyway. So yeah, uh, I guess we will consider ways, but it's very hard also for us to identify. I think these people may be referring to the things that Axie did with their airdrop of AXS, which is, I guess, an interesting concept that we can do. We can look at age of wallets, etc. However, yeah, it's a difficult situation for us to consider because you also need to make it a fair playing field. People who own founding Pega are obviously ones that are early. So that's something to consider as well. We will do founding Pega, or people who own founding Pega will have benefits. But yeah, it's difficult. That's something that we would need to consider more so in the future. It's still so early. Everyone is an early supporter at the moment. Loyal players, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of them. So it's really distinguishing beyond that. And I think an important one is ownership of NFTs. What type of NFTs or opportunities to own certain NFTs for loyal players as well. So, yeah,
Looks like we have time for two more questions.
sure.
One is, what innovations has Pegaxy brought to the DeFi space? How is Pegaxy changing the new DeFi ecosystems? And what are the plans for the next 100 days?
Good question. I guess our innovation is more so removing bottlenecks. Now, you probably, once you get into it, you will recognize that our game is, I guess, trying to take the best of a lot of different games and then at the same time remove a lot of the bottlenecks that they are experiencing that I'm not sure why they're not removing. So, yeah, I guess that's where our innovation side of things comes. I haven't seen anyone besides, of course, the beast, the almighty Axie, have the same economy that we have at the moment, that we've replicated from Axie. So, in that sense, I guess we are the second guinea pig, is what I like to call it in this sense. So, a lot of people are going to get new data from an early startup company of this ecosystem, someone that's taking on this economy as well. And I think that's going to be valuable. And if people see that we are a success, and over the, as you mentioned, say the next 100 days, I think this model is going to become very, very popular. And then the plans over the next 100 days, we're pretty stacked. We did everything back to back. We did the NFT last Friday, NFT sale last Friday. We have the IDO this Friday, and we do plan to launch the game in the next Friday. Over the next 100 days, it's about 3 months. So game launch is next Friday, which is on track for the time that we expected in November. Then we will have, fingers crossed, the game launch and on mobile fully compatible by end of December. Then after that, between that, actually, it may happen between that or just after that, the 3D gameplay. And then finally, there will be fully player controlled on mobile 3D gameplay. I'm hoping within the next 100 days. There's a lot more, things that we probably won't predict, a lot of bugs, a lot of craziness. So, yeah, fingers crossed within the next 100 days, that's where we're sitting. But no promises.
That's a lot of great features, and I can see things progressing very quickly, especially
Yeah.
when guilds start forming and start evolving, which brings me to the question, what are the plans for esports tournaments since people are going to become very competitive in the near future?
Yeah, we got reached out quite early, sorry, by community gaming, which I think taking a lot of the market share at the moment, focusing on play to earn games. They're native on Polygon. They got investments from like Jiho from Axie. So these guys reached out pretty early and really wanted to host a lot of stuff uh, on our platform, with our platform, I should say. However, esports isn't really, I guess, like friendly to like random number generated games like Zrun. You can't really have an esports with that. So we need to kind of wait until it's fully player controlled, which is why I would say you'll see a lot more of esports tournaments in 3 months' time, something like that. And then of course it'll come down to, who knows the game mechanics the best, who understands the game, who has some luck as well. So when that comes around, I think it's going to be quite competitive and it's actually quite immersive. what we have plans of anyway. So I'm sure you guys will see soon enough. But it's extremely immersive, and like just you get so attached to the game as well. So I think esports is really going to thrive actually.
Oh, definitely. We're going to take a moment to talk to the audience about RIR, which I'll explain on
Sure,
my
sure.
end. We're going to show a tutorial on how to participate in the airdrop, and we'll see how to invest with RADA through RIR, RIR.
Hi there. This video will explain in detail the latest feature on RADA.network. Invest. What does it mean and how you can participate? Please notice that if you want to do any kind of interaction on the website, not only to invest, but also to do other actions such as commenting or upvoting, the system will require you to actually log in to verify your RIR amount. Before making an investment, you will need to go to your profile and check on your remaining RIR balance. In order to claim these RIR, an action called Top Up will be needed. Top Up is the process of transferring your initial investment to RADA Treasury. In this case, it will be the stablecoin USDT. Choose how many RIR you want to claim. A friendly reminder, each RIR equals 100 USDT investment. The information of the Treasury wallet is all here. Make sure you choose the correct network, which is the BSC, when you are doing the transfer. One more important thing is the transaction hash. This will be the only confirmation that the system needs to provide your RIR, should the transaction be successful. To do this, simply copy your transaction hash or transaction ID and paste it in the third row. After successfully claiming your RIR, you can now go start investing. Simply go to Projects, and you will see a number of articles for partnered projects. Just pick one and go over to the Invest tab, which is on the top right corner. A little disclaimer, if you have not logged in, you will not be able to see everything on the screen. Instead, you will have information to guide you on how to earn your very first RIRs. Simply click on the Apply Now and fill in the contribution form. Now let's go through all the information on this investment screen one by one. Your maximum allocation shows the maximum amount of RIR you could spend on this project. Available RIR/total RIR shows the remaining RIR allocation and how many RIR in total everyone can spend on this project. Your balance is simply the amount of available RIR in your balance. Top Up is, as we have already gone through, for actually claiming RIR into your balance by making a transfer to RADA Treasury. TGE means the date the token is issued. This is also when you receive your initial tokens if you invest in a project. Also below, you will find such information as the investment round, the price you will be investing in, and the remaining time to make your investment. Simply choose the amount of RIR you can invest for the project, which is already shown above. For the second field, your Binance Smart Chain BEP20 wallet address. This is the wallet address where you will receive your tokens, so make sure that the address is on the same specified chain. That is all for this tutorial video. Thank you for watching and good luck.
We've seen how to invest with RADA. To receive RIR in the airdrop event with Pegaxy, please follow these steps. We're going to share the website here. First, you visit the URL rada.network. Go to the article about the project you are interested in. This is for airdrop with Pegaxy, the event together with Pegaxy, and then see the article about Pegaxy. Then we have several tabs such as project overview, tokens, the team, and investment with RIR. This is the airdrop. You click that tab. Complete all the mentioned actions, then you'll receive a confirmation email from RADA. And finally, you just wait for the results to see if you win. And Correy, do you have any Is there anything you want to share with the audience before we close out on this? Oh, I think we lost your sound for a second.
My bad, I muted it.
There
Sorry.
you are.
um,
I do it
I
all
just
the
wanted
time.
to say thank you so much, guys, for joining it and asking some actually really good questions. So, thanks so much for that. Of course, if you have any more questions, you can find us on any of the socials. Jump in anytime. We have 24-hour support. So, other than that, yeah, thank you so much, and thank you so much, Rader, for letting us come on here as well. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone that is here with us for the live stream and for watching the second episode of RadaTalk with the theme of AMA with Pegaxy. Thank you, Mr. Correy Willton, for joining us today as well. This was an excellent live stream. RADA TV will continuously produce videos about blockchain technology in the coming time. If you're interested in this topic, please hit subscribe and the notification bell icon below to get our video updates. And do not forget to participate in the airdrop event to receive attractive RIR from RADA. Goodbye, and we will see you again. Thank you.